pull up the
Hey,
thing.
everybody. We are. It's Keto Chat Live with Carol and Kendall. Is that gonna be your signature thing? You did that last time.
I think it's just the easiest thing to do. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not kind of do like some fancy dance move, like some hand things. No, just.
Is it? You also like used to make fun of me for my girl pew pew sounds.
Well, that's because you're a sound girly. Yeah, mine are very masculine. Pew pew.
I don't think that's.
That's pretty masculine to me. I don't know.
Come on, now do some real manly gunshot.
Pow, 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 pow.
Is that what it sounded like when you were a kid?
In the chat, let us know what your favorite fake pistol is to shoot.
How do we get on this pistol? Oh, this is a bad topic. Never mind.
This
We're not
isn't
going down
keto
this
related.
topic.
What's your favorite keto food?
Yeah, keto questions. Here we are live answering your questions. We thought we figured this out last time too. So I reposted the photo and asked people to post questions there. We'll start there. We'll see if there's any questions. Yeah.
Nope.
All right. So hey, well, first let's do a little check-in for each of us. See how things are going. Anything you thought of since the last one. We're also going to review. There's a research article. This guy had a really good idea that we, talk about a research article related to keto each week. So I've got one of those ready for you here. It's about
some brand new news in the keto sphere,
yes.
kind of, I guess, and our opinions on what is fact, right? No, it's, something new and what we think of it. And what's
opinions on fact, but not alternate facts.
These are true facts.
True opinions?
True opinions.
Yeah.
True opinions.
These are not
true opinions on real facts.
These are not fake opinions.
Fake opinions?
No.
These are real opinions.
Yeah.
I really do think this.
All right, so I think if you click on
there
it is. There we are.
We'll
be watching, so post any questions you have down below, and we will answer those as we go.
Man, my hair is getting so long. I need to cut my hair. That's what I need to do.
I'm glad you can see that now.
I can see it in the video. I need to cut my hair, but
is it just growing too fast for you?
Well, no, it's just the sides. I just need to.
I appreciate how you matched your hat color to my dress.
What's matching on this? I don't think
your hat color. Although on video it's actually like bright neon orange in real life.
It is.
And
it looks a little dull.
Yeah, I think it's because the camera's like, whoa, that's too bright, so we can't show that.
All right, let's see here.
Okay, we're gonna get distracted if we stare at ourselves too
much.
much.
Well, I'm just trying to open up the comments here.
Oh yeah, okay. I think if you click on. I think if you click that, that will open it up and that will let you see the... Oh, no, we don't want that.
You lied to me.
How do we get it to pop out? Okay, alright, it'll come up.
Whatever. Who cares?
I think if you scroll below it, it will show... No, never mind. Never mind, we'll get this figured out. Let's look at this research article. Actually, and then let's check in with each other. How is your life going?
Check in with each other.
How are you doing?
How's life going? Well, keto's going pretty good. Last night we had some taco salad.
Yep.
Keto meals, especially for does it all. You got that sour cream, the lettuce, which is whatever. I don't care about that. And you got the meat, and then just all the hot sauce, just right over that. Love putting hot sauce on everything.
All the hot sauce.
All the hot sauce.
Yep. It's like one of your favorite snacks is mayo with hot sauce.
Well, yeah, it's ranked. Mayonnaise, and then mayonnaise with hot sauce right below that.
Okay.
Pure mayonnaise by itself will definitely be my favorite pudding, but sometimes it just needs a little bit extra flavor when you're... Because it's the mouthfeel, really, for mayonnaise that does it for me. It's just...
He's coined the term, or the phrase, or, whatever, TM, that mayonnaise is keto pudding.
Keto pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like... I think the only way it could be made better is if you put some of the tapioca in it.
Oh, you like that
texture? I really like tapioca pudding, so maybe I can put tapioca in.
Well, Miracle Noodles has those the boba balls.
Yeah, I was gonna say because tapioca is probably I haven't had tapioca in a long time. It's probably sugar.
It's pure starch.
It's pure starch, yeah. But yeah, the Miracle Balls.
The Miracle Balls.
The Miracle Noodles, right? What are they?
Yeah.
They're made out of some root. It's like a.
It's made from konjac root, and it's an ancient Japanese medicinal root actually that was used for centuries. So it's one of those things that individual results on keto may vary. They're the ones that make like the Miracle Noodles. They come in like spaghetti, fettuccine, and what they call rice, which are the little tiny balls. Those are actually
we did that one time. We didn't use the tiny ones, but used some of the smaller balls, and we put that in like some shakes or whatever. And that was pretty good.
Well, they also make the boba ones
the
now
boba
as well,
ones, yeah.
Which are the bigger ones, which is like the Japanese boba tea that are made from the same konjac root. So For the most part, they don't seem to affect me the way that I know if something is like causing an insulin response. What I teach my clients is that do you crave it? Do you want more and more of it? Is it so good that you can't stop eating it? The next day, do you obsess about it and you want even more?
I forgot about it.
Those are all signs that like that's probably not working for you keto-wise. It's causing an insulin response. And so the fact that I can buy some and they'll sit in the cupboard for 3, 4, 5 months is a good sign that they're not causing an insulin response, because the foods that turn on that addictive, that craving part of the brain will make you really want them even more.
You're thinking about it for a while.
Yeah, even if they're technically keto friendly. So
keto friendly, not keto appropriate. So
you want to try mayonnaise with Miracle Noodle rice in it.
That's that's the new age tapioca pudding. That's keto. That's real keto pudding right there.
Well, there was a thing, I know when I was growing up, that like rice pudding was a popular thing back when, so Grandma, my mom, she would do like Weight Watchers diets, which were all like at that time like super low fat, as much carbs as you wanted though. It was all about calories and fat.
Yeah.
And so I remember her having a rice pudding, a diet rice pudding that she was having.
Is that like low sugar, or what is diet rice pudding?
Well, it has no fat, so
no fat.
Diet rice pudding was no fat, and so it was like rice cooked in skim milk and sugar and pineapple.
But at least it had no fat, right? And it has that nice pineapple flavor.
Well, and seemed like it was, so it was no artificial sweeteners, because, so this is back in the 80s, there really weren't any artificial sweeteners except like Sweet and Low or something. So it had real sugar in it, but it had like it was light, like it didn't have tons of sugar. And I remember taking a bite of that, and I was like, this just tastes so gross. Like, why would you even want to eat this?
Why tease yourself, right? Like, if you're on a diet, why eat something that's quote-unquote healthy, that they thought was healthy, but like, you're just teasing yourself, right? You have that, it tastes like garbage, you're gonna go try to have some real pudding afterwards.
Well, and this is along the lines of one of the mistakes that I see people make a lot of times on keto, is that they go from their really high carb lifestyle where they eat a lot of desserts, or they're really addicted to carbs and sugar, and then they immediately try to recreate all those carby foods in a keto form.
Right.
And because they actually haven't healed anything yet in their body, and they haven't overcome their addiction and cravings to carbs, they still overeat those keto foods. Mm-hmm. So same thing where, my mom dieting way back when she was following what they were told to do at that time, trying to recreate desserts that were diet desserts. That's one of the pitfalls I think I see people fall into a lot when they're trying to start keto and they don't succeed, is they're trying to recreate tons of desserts all the time.
Well, you've told me this before, you've seen tons of people trying to recreate like cakes and stuff like that, like keto cakes, like they're bragging about the carb content being so low, and it's so good for you. There's fat and yada yada, and it's not good to.
Well, and the other thing is that people make the mistake of thinking like, well, if it's a keto-friendly ingredient, I can use as much as I want in a dessert. But if you don't actually do the carb count on it, your little keto-friendly cupcake might have like 24 grams of carbs in it. That's like more than your entire day you should be having.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to just eat one of those keto cupcakes. We've made those before.
We know you.
Well,
you know you, and we know you, and we know us. You're not having just one of those.
They're so delicious. The last time I made cupcakes was for the bacon party, the bacon housewarming party. And we, they were really delicious.
Because they actually... I remember everyone was complimenting them. It was, they're keto cupcakes, right? They have really low carbs. I don't remember what the ingredients were, but everyone was like, wow, these are amazing. These are better than regular cupcakes. Sugar-free,
grain-free. They were made with almond meal and I think some coconut flour. I don't even remember now.
Simplest
There was like a
recipe.
cream cheese frosting on them. Yeah,
Cream cheese frosting was amazing.
They were delicious, but yeah, it'd be easy. If I made those every day, we'd be eating those every day, and we'd be eating more of them every day.
And I'm eating keto-friendly foods, right?
Yeah,
but if you're overeating it, it's still gonna, you'll add up. You'll get to 60 carbs really quick.
Yeah.
Especially with those things when they're that delicious. That delicious.
Yes, right. So that is one of the pitfalls. So
what were we talking about?
I don't know. Do you want to see if we have any comments there?
Always double check.
We'll move into our.
Oh jeez. This thing. It's too hard. All right, we're good. Nothing.
You could also check, if you just check my notifications and see if any of those are related to the video.
Sure.
Betsy's watching us. Hi, Betsy.
Hey, Betsy Woods.
Betsy.
Well, so let's talk about this article then.
All right.
I haven't read this one, but I think you did.
I will tell you.
And explain to me what's going on.
Let's see if I can remember exactly without actually reading it for word. So this was. This is an announcement on Alzheimer's News Today. So it's a notification of a phase 3 clinical trial. So they're basically they're testing.
Human testing?
Yes.
Phase 3 is human testing?
Well, I don't know. Phase 3, I don't know. This basically it means this is part of a clinical trial, and they're doing it at different stages.
It's obviously not in phase 1 and 2 anymore. It's in the third phase.
This is the third stage of their testing.
It's getting pretty serious.
Yeah. This is an article that's written, kind of like a press release about the status of this.
So kind of bragging then? Is that what? Or
partially, yeah.
An anticipatory, if you guys have Alzheimer's, you should check this out. Is that kind of what's going on here?
Or loved ones. Well, the thing is that because it's not a published study, meaning so research is done, and then if the results are what they like, then they publish it, and then they try to negotiate with various publishers to get them to publish it. The other thing people don't realize, too, is that the publisher gets to decide what part of the study you actually publish.
Sure.
That's a little behind-the-scenes things that you don't even know, that, they could only publish part of results you don't even know. But that's a whole other subject.
It hasn't published yet. This is the announcement.
It's still being done. This is
an
article talking about a research that's currently being done. And so,
what does the drug do?
Let me just add that because it's not actually a published study, we can't actually know all the details of what they're doing. All we know is what's in this article, right? So,
sure.
So this is a trial for a drug called AC-1204. Sounds good, right? What this drug does is that it induces a mild state of ketosis, right? We know that ketones are good for the brain, and it's already been shown that reduces the symptoms of Alzheimer's and dementia, and so it wouldn't be long until the drug companies were looking at this like, okay, how can we get people into ketosis? Let's find a drug.
So is this pill just like encapsulated coconut oil, or what is this like?
I don't know. See, that's the thing, because it's not a published study. I have no idea what this drug
don't know what compounds
actually is,
are in
right?
it. It's
yeah,
something that they're working on.
Well, yeah. So the idea is that they're trying to create a drug that then they could prescribe and make money off of.
Millions.
To put people into ketosis. Now, the thing with a drug is that it has to be proprietary enough that it's not just a simple food.
I haven't read the article. Is this article saying that they're looking to advertise this drug as a quick way to ketosis, or just a way to battle Alzheimer's?
It's specifically meant to improve dementia, patients' cognitive and daily functioning. Those are the two things they're looking at in this phase.
And side effect may include ketosis.
Well, so they basically, so the mechanism of action of this drug is that it induces a mild state of ketosis.
Sure.
So that was I assume that was the goal of the development of this drug in the first place. So, so they basically are, measuring the functioning. So they have some tests that they can do. So these are like standardized tests of memory that they give people with Alzheimer's and dementia. They're used to diagnose it, so people can get a diagnosis of it, but they're also used to monitor progression of the disease when people have it, and then they're also used during studies to assess whether something is helping or not. So this is called the they use the Clinical Global Impression of Change. There's a longer name, sorry. Alzheimer's Disease Cooperative Study. I think there's an extra word in there because that doesn't match the Clinical Global Impression of Change. So ADCS CGIC, right? That's easy enough to say. That's the test that they use to monitor their functioning. And what they found was that this drug had a positive impact, that it reduced their score by 3 points. And I was like, okay, is that a lot? I don't know. I need to go look up this study a little bit more. So looking at this, or not the study, but look at the assessment. So this ADAS COG test, well, that's different initials than I told you before. Actually, so the name of the test they're using to assess their functioning was the ADAS COG.
Whatever it is.
Right? Looked up that test. Basically, that's for people that are diagnosed with mild to moderate cognitive impairment, like Alzheimer's, dementia, they typically get a score of about in the 30s on this test.
So if you're at a 30, this just brings you down to 27?
Right. So it gave them about a 10% improvement in their functioning.
Well, okay, that's better than nothing, right?
It's better than nothing. However,
That's like nothing though. Like, I mean, it's better than nothing, but it is nothing. It sounds like nothing, right? Like if you have Alzheimer's, severe Alzheimer's and dementia, 10% better cognitive function probably is not going to do you a lot of good.
Right. And so I wanted to look up a little bit more because I know that we have a lot of anecdotal evidence of people that their family members have Alzheimer's or developing dementia, that they've used coconut oil with them or MCT oil
Sure.
and had some pretty dramatic results. And so
have these people taken the test? Do they have like you said, it was anecdotal. Do they have clinical?
Yeah, well, they don't do clinical trials on coconut oil because you can't make any money off of it. Now,
what a surprise.
There's two sides of that, right? Like they want to develop a drug because they can make money off of it, but clinical trials actually cost billions of dollars to run.
Oh yeah.
And wait, let me back up. The development of a drug costs billions of dollars. A clinical trial, though, still is a very expensive thing to run. It takes a lot of funding. And so who's going to fund a study that shows that coconut oil can help reverse,
That shows that a naturally occurring fat can cure this problem that they're investing billions of dollars to
something
fix.
you can buy at Trader Joe's or Costco for like $5 or $6.
When your one container is going to cost as much as a year's worth of coconut oil will cost as much as one pill.
Probably, right? And so, we run into this problem all the time of, food or nutrition helping heal us stuff or reverse things, is that, there isn't enough money to be made, or you can't even make the money back. So there ends up being not any trials done. So there hasn't been any trials that I know of or that I was able to find where coconut oil is used on people with Alzheimer's and dementia. But we have really great anecdotal stories, meaning like stories of people who have just done this on their own and had really great results. So one of those people that is out there, doing a lot of talks right now is, let me get her name right. Mary Newport. She's an MD, and she spoke at one of the recent low carb Vail. She was one of the speakers there. She's been on Jimmy Moore's podcast, Livin' La Vida Low Carb, and she also, I can see on Dr. Mercola's website as well, she's got a video interview there as well. So there's probably lots of other, I'm sure if you just search on YouTube for Mary Newport or even just a Google search, you will find an interview. And I really encourage you, if you have anybody in your family who has any history of dementia, Alzheimer's, watch one of her interviews and listen to her story about how her husband, at the age of about 51, started to develop really early onset Alzheimer's. And it's the story is really dramatic in how fast he declined. And 51 is not very old to start developing that. Yeah. So it's pretty devastating to their family and their relationship. And her story is really remarkable. And she was not a ketogenic dieter or a low carb dieter before this at all. Her discovery of how coconut oil really significantly impacted his functioning was just through her own continuous searching to try to find something that would help him. And she also talks about how she tried to get him into various clinical trials of various drugs and got rejected and turned down at first because his score wasn't high enough to qualify him for it.
He didn't have bad enough Alzheimer's to get help.
Yeah. And then another trial that he got into, but it turns out he was taking a drug that made his symptoms far worse, accelerated the progression of the disease.
The classic pharmaceutical companies. Whoops, it's worse now.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the risks of being in a trial is that they're trying something that they don't know if it works or not, right? So, but it ultimately she ended up finding coconut oil, and she found that a dose of about 2 tablespoons per day was all that it took to have a dramatic slowing of the progression. And she recounts stories of him, going from not even be able to remember like how to tie his own shoes or how to eat, to like being able to do a puzzle and read a book again, which he hadn't been able to do. And so it was really dramatic reversal of symptoms. And so if you do have a family member with early stage Alzheimer's, like the easiest way to prevent it is to start really, really early when you're like your age.
Yeah, get the coconut oil and the mayonnaise in them soon.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but if you have, a family member that's still living at home, giving them coconut oil, even without a significant dietary change.
You can just sneak it into their food. They won't even know. just when you're cooking for them, just put some coconut oil.
Well,
in
yeah, Mary Newport, Dr. Newport, talks about, she wasn't even having her husband follow a ketogenic diet. It was just adding this coconut oil. I mean, and that was enough to have.
Imagine the kind of results she would have gotten if she actually put him on a ketogenic
right,
diet. I mean,
right.
She's like kind of, doing that first step. Coconut oil. Okay, you're trying, right? But
what was even more remarkable about her whole story to me is that she tried to go to the Alzheimer's, foundation or the conferences that they were having, and they were turned away. They were not allowed to speak, and not only that, when they were out in the halls passing out the information, like she put together her findings of what had happened. They were kicked out. They weren't even allowed to be passing out this information, and they were kicked out and banned from the conferences.
Is this because everyone's just trying to make money? I understand. Like it sounds like a foundation like the Alzheimer's Foundation. Like the goal is the cure, right? Not profits. But it sounds like
I don't know. I mean, I may be giving the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were like, oh, these wackos, these crazy people
dressed up in coconut oil is the cure.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just screaming
like
at everyone.
The sign, the end is near, right? Like maybe they just perceived him to be that, and that was just one random thing that happened to you. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know the whole story, but hey, we're here spreading the word. So.
Of Mary Newport.
Yeah, Dr. Mary Newport. Unfortunately, her husband has now passed away, but she is continuing to tell the story, and it's important. And if this is a topic that's of interest to you, there's a really great book out there, The Alzheimer's Antidote by Amy Berger, and I highly recommend you go grab that book as well. She also talks about how simple, like if you can do nothing else, just adding coconut oil is one of the most powerful and simple things you can do to help give quality of life back and prevent the progression as quickly. And but Amy Berger's story, so I interviewed her, and you can find our Keto Chat out there on our YouTube channel, that she talks about how she even got interested in research on Alzheimer's, is that she started finding these articles, and then the more she dug into it, the more plentiful it was about how they understood the whole metabolism dysfunction that happens in the brain that related to, the cells couldn't use glucose anymore, and actually ketones are a much better fuel source for the brain, and there's an easy way to do that. So anyways, what are you going to say about that?
I mean, I'm not really surprised, right? Like, adding coconut to your diet is pretty straightforward thing to do. There's so many, like, benefits to it, and plus, like, it tastes good, too. I mean, it just seems like a win-win.
I got a tricky question for you.
Tricky question.
Yeah. Do you know there are people out there that don't like the taste of coconut?
There are people that don't like the taste.
Yeah.
I will say I actually don't like coconut.
Oh, yeah.
He
does know that there are people that don't
like coconut texture, the coconut shavings.
Okay.
But for me, coconut oil, pretty delicious. Coconut shavings I don't really like. But I like coconut oil.
For those of you that don't like the flavor of coconut, you can get refined coconut oil. It's going to be a lot milder coconut flavor, but you can also even get the liquid coconut oil, which is much more refined. They've removed some of the types of fats that are in it, so it's a liquid at room temperature, has zero coconut flavor. It's very close to MCT oil, though, which is going to be a lot more potent. And the good news is when it's more potent, you can take less of it as well. So
yeah, if you want to avoid that coconut as possible, no problem.
My own experience and my own ketone experimentation is that 1 tablespoon of coconut oil in the morning when I'm fasted will raise my ketones about 0.5 millimolar, whereas
millimolar?
Millimolar.
Well, that's like
measurements.
Sure, I've been taking chemistry recently.
Oh, yeah. Do you know about millimolars?
I know what a mole is, but
okay.
I don't know what a millimolar is. Is that like a ratio of mole, probably?
Well, it's mmol. So
millimolar, yeah. So
yeah,
it's
like milli is.
Well, so I'm actually
1,000?
I'm supposed to know all these subscripts, the chemistry subscripts.
Yeah.
I think
deci, milli.
It's 10 to the negative 6 mole. I think is what it would be for milli. Or it's either negative 6 or negative 3. But
maybe you'll.
I need to do more
know.
chemistry studying. Yeah, I think I should be able to know these things, but.
By next week, I expect you to explain what millimolars are to us
We'll
in
bring
lay
it back
terms.
up.
Yeah.
Millimolar of coconut oil.
Well, no, millimolar is measured in it's a blood concentration. So, because a millimole is within a context, right?
Sure.
Because you can't just have it all by itself, right?
What?
Like
What do
you
you
can't measure out a millimolar. It's a measurement compared in.
Yeah, you can. A mole is a amount. It's a number. A mole is a number. It's not an amount.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's a number of like atoms
Okay.
or molecules.
Oh,
So a mole is like a certain number of.
so we can count the atoms.
You can count them. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the atomic weight of the.
Yes. Yeah. Something like that. It's like I should know this. It's a mole is 6.626 10 to the 23rd
Oh.
atoms.
Okay.
That
Or a
many
number.
atoms.
It's a
a number of
yeah.
atoms. Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't a chemistry stream though. I don't know.
No wonder we're not getting any questions
we got a
now.
little off topic. I don't know. Let's talk about.
All right. So yes. So my personal experimentation is that 1 tablespoon of coconut oil will raise my blood ketones in a fasted state 0.5, and 1 tablespoon of MCT oil it will raise my blood ketones 1.0 in the fasted state. So it's twice as potent, and it makes sense when you look at the composition of it. Is that solid coconut oil is actually about 62% MCT.
Okay.
There's other fats within coconut oil, so it's not 100% medium chain fats. And whereas liquid MCT oil it's basically either palm or coconut oil that's been refined, meaning parts of it have been removed, so that all that is left is the liquid coconut or the liquid medium chain triglycerides. So it's twice as potent. That makes sense. It's 62%. So that's about what I've seen when I've taken that myself. So if you were going to substitute MCT oil instead of coconut oil in a person with dementia, you could probably 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So that means 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. But here's another tip for you. If you're going to try MCT oil, you need to start out very slowly because if you're not used to having it, it very quickly will cause diarrhea.
Oh.
So I recommend
Don't
people
do that.
start out with half a teaspoon at any one time. Spread it throughout the day. Have half a teaspoon with breakfast, half a teaspoon later on in the day. These are for people that are not already following a ketogenic diet, by the way. Half a teaspoon with your meals, and then work your way up to a full tablespoon throughout the day.
Well, so, I mean, MCT doesn't have any flavor, I think, right? It's
Right,
it's
MCT is
flavorless.
a flavorless oil. And so it actually, you can find some recipes out there you can make marinades and salad dressings out of it. Some ladies that have gone through my program, they just keep MCT oil in their purse, and if they go out to a restaurant, they just put MCT oil on their salad or on their steak. It's a flavorless oil, really. It's like the mildest oil you could ever have, and it's very lightweight.
It's like you're sprinkling vitamins on your food, right? It's like it's essential oil. It's just so amazing, and just I'm going to get my health today.
Except vitamins would not taste good on a salad.
Well, you crushed up little gummy bear vitamins and just kind of put that on a salad.
Oh, gummy bear vitamins on a salad.
Instead of croutons, you just put your vitamins on there.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I've heard of people, carrying around the little bottle of sriracha and whatnot. But
okay.
MCT, that's the keto version. MCT or mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Little bottle of mayonnaise.
Yeah, you would carry mayonnaise. I still have yet to make homemade mayonnaise out of MCT oil.
That'd probably be pretty good.
Except for, you're pretty sensitive to fats, and so you can eat a whole cup of mayonnaise. I know you couldn't eat a cup of MCT oil.
I could have, the whole cup of, because it's that, canola oil and all that mayonnaise, but...
No, we get
the avocado stuff, yeah, but...
Avocado oil.
Regular mayonnaise has,
most
safflower.
mayonnaise has canola oil, or the cheaper stuff has soybean oil.
Soybean oil.
Yeah, and or
both, everything.
Yeah.
Gross.
Right. So, yeah, but those kind of oils you want to stay away from because, they're doing bad stuff in our body too. So
the real oils you want, avocado.
Well,
MCT. Coconut. Good stuff.
Coconut oil, yeah, but that's typically
You're saying avocado's not always great?
Olive oil has a very
What's
long...
avocado?
I will get back to avocado.
Olive oil.
Olive oil has actually a long history of use. It's been around for 5,000 years or more. It's pretty easy to make, actually. You just chop up olives and you smush them and the oil comes out. And, however, a lot of olive oil out there in the market isn't actually pure olive oil. It's cut with other things, and the laws regulating olive oil in the United States are pretty lax. If you happen to be in the UK or in Europe, they actually have a whole olive oil standard, and I forgot the name of the board that they actually test, and they have standards for how much certain
Italy,
molecules
right?
in it. Yeah, probably.
Some Italian board.
Yeah, so the olive oil there is actually tightly regulated, and it's a much higher quality, whereas in the U.S., it can be whatever. It can say olive oil, and they've done testing recently where it shows like, oh, it's only like 30% olive oil, and it's like cut with soybean oil, but nobody knows the
difference. Are we surprised?
So.
I mean, it's America. America's laws and regulations behind food is pretty ridiculous.
Right, yeah. So I have a brand of olive oil that I really like that maybe I should go grab the bottle at the end here if somebody wants to know. And,
someone wants to see what's in it?
Yeah.
Or no, is this one actual olive oil?
It's real olive oil, and you can tell when you taste it. It is so
strong.
Powerful.
Oof.
It tastes so different than any olive oil I've ever had, and it's just so good. It's so strong, and it's real
actual
olive oil. Yeah.
So olive oil is fine.
Olive oil,
if
yes.
it's olive oil.
Yes, olive oil is great if it's olive oil. Avocado oil. Okay, so avocado oil seems to be okay, but in my mind, I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan, so I'm a skeptic of avocado oil.
Avocado oil.
Because it's new to the market. Like, there hasn't been a long tradition of using avocado oil. How do they get avocado oil out of the avocados? I don't even know what that process is. Like, if I smash up avocados at home, there's not a whole bunch of oil that comes out of them. So
you gotta press it.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Like,
well, I think that's what you have to do because what you're doing with the olives is you're pressing the olive effectively and then taking the liquid.
Yeah.
The only difference is that avocado's inside's a little mushy, so you just gotta press it.
Well, most oils though, like corn oil, for example, how do you make that? You don't take corn and squeeze it. They actually
just put cornstarch in there, put sugar, and then it just soaks it right up.
Well, you get cornstarch out, but it takes a lot of chemical processing. Basically, most oils out there to make them, it takes a lot of chemicals and pressure and heat and bleaching and all kinds of stuff, and basically the end product is so damaged and so rancid and oxidized that it's bad stuff to put in our body. I was listening to somebody the other day that was talking about how it's the author of Deep Nutrition. Forgive me, I don't remember her name at the moment, but she was saying how the plant seed oils that we've been told for the last 40, 50 years to eat, she believes that they're actually more harmful for our bodies than cigarette smoking.
Plant seed oil is worse than cigarettes. What would a plant seed oil be?
So plant seed oil is things like
not avocado. Don't say that, please.
Canola oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, sunflower seed oil, safflower oil, all the oils that most people think of, even grapeseed oil, sesame seed oil, peanut oil. All those are going to be what we call plant seed oils.
Okay.
So they're think about this for a minute. They don't exist in nature.
The oils or the plants?
The
plants don't exist?
The plants do. The oils themselves, like there's no source of liquid oil in nature.
Well, except for the olives.
Well, but you still you have to chop them up and squeeze them. You have to do some kind of a process. They're closest to what exists in nature, but everything else,
you're not doing a chemical thing. It's like a physical. To get the olives, you just gotta smash them. But all these other things, you're putting chemicals in there to extract something out of it.
Right. That was kind of an aha moment I had after I even finished my graduate training. Was like, wow, it makes sense that saturated fats aren't bad for us because that's the fat that exists in nature.
Saturated fat is just normal fat.
Right, and then this other fat that we've been telling everybody to use for a long time, like make your salad dressing out of canola oil because that's healthy for you, like that doesn't exist in nature. The only way you get plant oils is if you eat the plant, like you eat a whole nut or a seed, like you eat an almond or you eat a sesame seed. You don't eat canolas.
You don't suck on an almond trying to get the oil out. That's not a thing.
Well, and the amount of oil you're going to get from eating that almond is so small compared to, a cup of almond
giant
oil.
Containers you can get at the store, right?
Yeah.
Imagine all the chemicals in there.
Yeah, or, soybean, for example.
Soy is just a whole other subject, though. I know. Soy is just another...
Yes, so let go of the seed oils.
Well, that's kind of interesting that I think
vegetable oil.
You're saying the saturated fats compared to all these other fats, where it's like, don't eat the normal, natural saturated fats. Eat these chemically processed
canola
oils and whatnot. It's like it's way healthier because it's clear, it's smooth, and
Right.
You know.
Well, and that's, one of the current debates right now is that a lot of people are leaning, especially in the keto community, are leaning towards like sugar's bad, sugar's the cause of all this, and refined carbs, which I agree are terrible for us. But at the same time that we were consuming all this extra sugar and refined carbs, we were also starting to consume all these oxidized oils that I was just talking about as well. And so there's some people that talk about how they go hand in hand and they're both equally bad. And the author of Deep Nutrition I was listening to, she talked about how just by themselves, these seed oils have been shown to be linked to insulin resistance.
So they both happen. Both of them do bad stuff.
Yeah.
But the oils are a little bit more damaging.
That was her position.
Oh,
I don't know about that, but she was saying that, if you could choose one, consuming these seed oils or smoking, she said that smoking was a better choice.
That's crazy.
For your health, right?
That sounds ridiculous
Right?
to me, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you people that go into fast food all the time, they don't smoke, right? So then they don't look healthy to me. So.
Well, how about this? Like, not even that long ago, McDonald's used to fry their French fries in beef tallow, which is a saturated fat.
Is that beef fat?
Beef fat, right? That's probably why they tasted so good. I don't remember back then how they tasted, but it's been within your lifetime, I'm pretty sure, that you don't remember.
I wasn't asking the clerk when I was 8 what fat they fried my fries in.
But there was a big upheaval. Like, people, when they figured out that McDonald's fries were fried in beef tallow, that's a saturated fat. What, are you trying to kill us? So then they switched
over to... That's not processed. Why won't you process that for me?
So they switched over to soybean oil that they fried in, because that's heart healthy, right? Which the irony is that's probably way less healthy for us than just having the fries cooked in tallow. So
it's probably cheaper though. Let's be honest. It's probably cheaper.
Probably. Right. All right. Well, let's check in. And we have any more questions here?
I see. Oh, actually, we do have a couple here. Lucinda says, "Is there a site to find out the importance of magnesium, salt, potassium with doing keto?" How do you know what magnesium level you should be eating?
Yeah, Lucinda.
Lucinda?
Yeah, wow.
Lucinda.
So there was recently, Dr. Finney was on, again, I'm going to say a podcast because he was lecturing somewhere, and he talked about, and what I found to be true as well with my clients is that if you're getting enough salt, you don't need the other electrolytes. So salt is our master electrolyte, and when you're getting enough salt, you actually retain the other electrolytes as well. And the most recent recommendation that I heard from Dr. Finney was that to consume 4 to 5 grams of sodium per day. Now that's the equivalent of 2 teaspoons of salt.
That's this much. No, I'm just kidding. It's
What I find is that most people grossly underestimate. They're like, oh, I eat salty snacks and I salt my food plenty. I get plenty of salt. No, you don't. On keto, if you are not supplementing, meaning measuring out and taking more than what you salt your food with, you're not getting enough salt. And some of the most common symptoms of not getting enough salt on a ketogenic diet are headaches, lightheadedness, dizziness, constipation, muscle cramps. What are some other ones? Those are the
crankiness, being upset.
Yeah, maybe, could be.
Sweating too much.
Good guess. No, not that one.
It's not gonna make
Those
you sweat.
are the most common ones. So if you've typically, I haven't found people that naturally are going to be consuming 2 whole teaspoons of salt unless they're consciously measuring that out. And so that is the number one thing I tell people is to make sure you're getting enough salt first. Most of the other need for the other electrolytes go away when you do that. And this has also been reiterated as well on Jimmy Moore's recent new podcast, Fasting Talk. One of the recent episodes, he was talking with Megan Ramos, who has lots of clinical experience working with people in ketosis and fasting. And she said the same thing, that if you're getting enough salt, you generally don't need to worry about these other electrolytes. So that's probably another one of the biggest myths that's out there in the keto world, is you got to supplement with all these electrolytes.
Take your vitamins.
Yeah.
All your vitamins.
Take your vitamins and take your collagen supplement, and add tons of fat to your
Collagen?
coffee and
Put your horse hooves in your meal too. Is that
horse
ketogenic?
hooves. That's a new one.
Is that ketogenic? I think
What?
it is, right?
Probably, yeah. That you can start a new supplement.
What's in horse
Let's start a
hooves?
rumor.
Is that a fat?
Horse hooves are the most healthy thing for you, and they supplement ketosis really good.
They
so-
enhance. They
enhance
It's
it, yes.
required for ketosis.
And they probably make you lose weight really fast too.
Again, this is all just made up. We're making stuff up right now.
All right. What
Sorry,
other
it's hard-
questions we've
sometimes
got?
it'll be hard to tell the
We've got a
subjects.
hello from Betsy. Hello. Wiki, how to make avocado oil. Interesting. So apparently now we've sent Betsy down an internet rabbit hole to look up how they make avocado oil. So
Hopefully, it's not as disgusting as the other processes, but hopefully, I was saying it's just
Yeah.
this. This is
yeah, they have young men that sit around their manufacturing facility and they just gently squeeze the avocados.
Just gently avocado oil into a cup.
Yeah.
It's like milking a cow. You're milking your avocado. Actually, I think what you could do is you could like cut a hole in the bottom,
Yeah, leave the skin on. Yeah.
and then just smush it right there, and then you're not like
Yeah, very gently.
very
And talk
gently.
nicely to it.
massage the avocado.
Maybe you need to massage it like a cow teat when you're milking it.
Whoa.
Haven't you ever seen that?
I don't know. I've never made milk before.
You've never made milk?
I've made avocado oil
You what?
in my stomach, but
Okay.
the chemical process for avocado oil is in my stomach. I will do that.
All right. What else? What time?
What else
how
for
are we
what?
doing on time here? Well, we talked about a research article.
Well, I mean, I just think the whole need for like a pill to get on ketosis is just kind of ridiculous to me. I mean, yeah, this could have positive effects for people that have Alzheimer's, but I feel like there's just so many better ways to go about it. If you want to actually have the ketogenic benefits,
Yeah.
just go on keto, right? Like, who knows what the side effects of this drug are going to be?
Mhm.
That's not published yet. So I don't know, it's a good thing to look out for
Mhm.
if you need it. But there's just why wait 3 years for this to be out when you can just start doing keto now, right?
Yeah, just have some coconut oil, nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, there are some challenges to, putting people that have Alzheimer's on a ketogenic diet. A lot of them are living in assisted care facilities and they don't have a lot of control over their food. The other challenge that comes up as people start to lose their memory, though, is that they need routine and familiarity to get through their day.
If you're 16, you've eaten carbs all your life.
Yeah, so they, things that are different than the normal routine, they don't remember that. And, they do really well if everything is routine, they can kind of remember that. But as soon as you change something up, it triggers a really great fear in them because it's like they don't remember it. And something that should be really familiar that you don't remember brings up a lot of fear and distrust. And so it can be really challenging. Somebody who's got moderate to severe symptoms, it can be challenging to change their diet. And so the easier route at that point might be, just adding coconut oil. Maybe you can do like a keto hot chocolate some people do, where it's like got coconut oil melted into it, or maybe added into broths or soups where it's going to melt. That may be an easier way of being able to incorporate that. The earlier you do a dietary change, though, the more likely you're going to be able to get them to make a full dietary change to keto.
Definitely, keto works best preventing Alzheimer's. If you
Your mom's calling. Can you hear her calling? Your mom's calling.
Oh, that work? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're still on.
What I was saying though was if you start keto before you have Alzheimer's or before you have Alzheimer's symptoms, it's going to work a lot better than if you do it as a reactive approach. Because like you were saying, from just the psychological aspects, it's more difficult to get on a ketogenic diet when you have Alzheimer's than if you start before.
Yeah. Well, that's true of any of the things that happen from insulin resistance damage in our body. So whether it's diabetes or heart disease or autoimmune conditions or, a lot of the ladies I work with have pretty severe insulin resistance where it is really challenging for them to lose weight just because they have had such severe insulin resistance, right? So all of these things, the earlier you catch them, the better results and the easier it's going to be to reverse that.
Sure.
Whereas, for you, the damage in your body for 20 years of eating carbs and stuff is going to be easier to reverse than for me, who's late
100
40s.
years of carbs.
100 years of carbs.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how old she is. 35?
46.
What?
I'm not 100 though.
Not a day over 99.
You're such a flatterer.
I know, I try. I'm the charming one.
Well, I suppose I could talk about some upcoming events that I'm going to be at speaking. If you
Sure,
are
Keto
watching
Carol.
this.
Talk about yourself.
Oh, were we talking about you?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I'm agreeing.
All right, so I've got various events coming up here. So if you're in the Seattle area on February 22nd, 2017, I will be speaking at Bastyr University about the ketogenic diet.
What is Bastyr University?
It is the world's largest naturopathic university.
Not just America's.
It's the world's
world's largest naturopathic university.
Yeah, and they also have a really robust nutrition curriculum, multiple programs there as well.
Did you study there?
I did.
Did you happen to study at this school?
An alumnus, is
Alumni.
that the right word? Alumni is plural.
Alumni is plural?
Yeah, kind of like cacti is plural.
All
Alumnus is the singular.
right, whatever it is. Just a Latin, whatever.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then on the what's the dates? We've got
second.
The
third.
second through the fourth will be in Vancouver, Washington, at the NTA, the Nutritional Therapy Association conference. And we'll have a booth there. Actually, he's going to be there.
I'm going to be there. If you guys want to talk to Keto Kendall, Keto Closer.
Yeah. I will be speaking there, as well as we're going to have a booth, and so you can come up and say hi to us there.
Be hanging out.
Yeah, and I've got some other ones. And so go over to my website, ketocarol.com, the events tab. I've got all the different various speaking events, so you can come and see me at the rest so far this year.
What are you going to be talking about at the Bastyr one? What's the...
Talking about keto.
Well, obviously, you're talking about keto, but you'll be talking about why keto is so amazing, your experience on keto. What are you going to be talking about?
Well, I will be talking about my experience on keto, like what led me there, but also then the approach I'll be talking about at Bastyr is the question I posed is keto a cure-all for modern disease? And what I've been seeing with all the people that I've been working with over the last year and a half is that likely the underlying foundation of all of modern disease and a lot of the weird symptoms people are having in our country is that it's insulin resistance, and keto fixes insulin resistance. And so I'm seeing that keto actually can have a profound impact on people's health because it's getting at the core the underlying root cause of a lot of these things. And so I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm only going to talk for like 45 minutes, so it's going to be not going to be able to cover everything about keto there, but I'll talk about how it's a lost metabolic state. Like it's not this scary thing.
Keto's not new. It's
not a fad diet. It's actually a metabolic state that historically we've gone in and out of, and it's very safe. And then I'll talk about the various health benefits of ketones being in the body, and then tie that all into all these modern diseases that we're seeing and how that can have an impact, a positive impact on all that. So that's what we'll be talking about there. In Vancouver, Washington, at the NTA conference, talking similarly about that, but I'm also going to tie it into gut health. Their conference theme this year is it all begins in the gut, and so I'll be tying that in, how does keto affect gut health? And most people, we've all been taught for so long that you need tons of fiber to have healthy digestive system.
Clean out that colon.
Yeah, exactly. And it turns out that's a big myth as well. And so I'll be throwing a little bit of that into the mix.
Well, yeah, if you can digest everything, why would you need extra fiber to get it out of your stomach? Right?
It turns out you only need tons of fiber if you're eating a high carb diet.
Yeah, if you eat tons of McDonald's, you probably want some fiber in there. But, if you eat healthy, you don't need fiber. I think, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's debatable.
Debatable.
Yeah, I mean, for the health of our colon.
What I learned in school, that my public schooling, is that fiber is undigestible and it just kind of goes in there to get stuff out. It's just this useless thing that you eat to just kind of. It's like a bear eating stuff before winter,
If we go back to my thing just a minute ago about if you're getting enough salt or if you're not getting enough salt, one of the signs is constipation. So it turns out that if you consume enough salt, your bowels move correctly as well without needing tons of fiber or any supplementation. So our gut, basically the things that it needs to eat, well, not our gut, but the bacteria that lives in our gut, optimal healthy gut bacteria, they like two things. They like fatty acids. Guess what? Those come from?
Keto.
Well, they come from, meat and the fats that come along with meat. And like a little bit of green vegetables. And guess what they do with the green vegetables? Oh, they turn them into fatty acids. So our gut bacteria actually live on fat. They don't live on fiber. But they can eat some of the fiber and turn it into fat.
Sure.
Did you realize that cows actually are fat burners?
What do you mean?
They eat tons of green stuff. The bacteria that lives in their stomach turns it into fatty acids.
So they create fat?
Yeah. Their stomach...
Is that why they taste so good?
Yeah.
Is that why they're so delicious?
Yes.
Well, a nice steak, because it turns grass into
Even though they're
meat.
vegetarians, they're making their own... They're making fat. The bacteria in their
If
gut
only
make
humans
fat.
were so lucky that all we had to eat was grass to be healthy.
But you'd have to eat all day long.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
There's I can't remember who it is doing, some of the paleo researchers out there talked about how in order to get a bigger brain, we needed to eat more meat, because if you're you can't get a lot of nutrients out of just plant matter. Like if you're only eating plant matter, you have to be eating all day long, and you have to have really big guts to digest it. Because it just takes all that room to digest the fiber and ferment it and all that kind of stuff. And so if you look at animals in the wild that are herbivores, vegetarian animals, herbivores, they have very big guts compared to their head.
Well, yeah, cows' heads probably about my size, and then they have 3 stomachs. Is that what I've heard?
Yeah, something like that. And a big giant gut that ferments it all. So.
My best cow impression. I don't know.
You remember when you wanted to be a vegetarian when you were a little kid? Or
Well,
you
yeah,
were a vegetarian.
I was confused.
You learned that hamburgers came from cows.
And that chickens came from chickens.
And it really upset you.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They taste good now. Bacon. And, I can't give up meat.
I remember giving a hamburger and he asked where it came from, and I said it comes from cows, and he was,
You killed something for this?
little tear, and he's like, Mom, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat cows anymore.
I think every kid has that realization where your parent's a murderer. They killed an animal.
Well, it's just because we're so detached from the capture and processing and procurement of our food, right? Like we go to the store and buy something that's already pre-cut up, whereas 200 years ago, if you wanted to eat, you had to go and procure it yourself.
Just that 200 years ago? Not even longer than that.
Yeah.
Well, so glad that everything's all processed now.
10 times your life. So, well, we're getting close to wrapping this up here. Let's just double check if there's any more questions that have come in there. So,
if you have any questions, now's the time to answer. I mean,
yeah, you got.
Unless you want to wait another week.
We'll see if any more. Like last time, some of the questions that came in. Do you want to refresh the page? Maybe that'll.
It auto updates, but I will double check. Oh, that's not right.
Oh man. All right, and thank you for tuning in and sharing is caring. So if you like this, Facebook doesn't show you everything that comes up on Facebook. Did you know that? The way that you tell Facebook you want to see this more is, interact somehow. So give us a thumbs up or a heart or a ha 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 ha, something like that. Or share it or comment. Any of those things are going to let Facebook know that you like this and you want to see more of it. So
where else can people catch more of you, Carol? Just Facebook?
Where could they catch more of me? Well, we're planning on coming back here every Thursday at 5 p.m. live to answer your keto questions. We'll pull another research article up to talk about each week, and who knows what will come up.
Where else can they catch you?
They can also catch me on YouTube. You can find me as Keto Carol all over social media. So Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, my YouTube channel. What am I missing?
Your website?
My website is Keto Carol as
Carol.
well. Just remember that Carol has an E on the end. I was named after my grandmother, so ketocarol.com. That's my website. And
you can check out tons of things there. YouTubes are posted up there, I think.
Yeah, YouTubes are linked on there. The YouTubes and the Facebooks aren't.
The Facebooks.
The YouTubes are there.
The views.
Yeah. And if you're not already following keto and your curiosity's building and you've got some health problems going on, got some stubborn extra pounds, you're tired of going on diet after diet after diet and not being able to keep the weight off, I invite you to schedule some time to talk to me. I offer a keto consult, which is a 1-hour phone consult where I'm going to do a full assessment of your current diet, your symptoms, your past health history, your health goals, all the diets you've been on in the past, supplements, prescriptions, all kinds of stuff. We'll spend a full hour on the phone going over all that, and then I can let you know whether the ketogenic diet is a good fit for what your goals are. Additionally, if you're somebody who's following keto and you're really frustrated because you're just confused and overwhelmed about what approach to take, or you're trying something and it doesn't seem to be working, you've hit a plateau or a stall, or you just can't figure out what to do, why it's not working. Also, I invite you to come schedule a consult
You
with me.
too can talk to Keto Carol.
You too. That's, one of my specialties is helping people that are stuck and don't know what to do and overwhelmed. If you just really want somebody who's there with you, step by step, guiding you every moment of what to do to get better results, that's what I'm here for. So me and my team of awesome keto coaches are here to support you. So, well, that's all I've got for now. And you have anything else? All right, we got the Keto Kendall sign off here.
It's been a while since I've seen a Western movie. I think I want to watch maybe like a
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood movie. I was gonna say Quentin Tarantino, but that's not Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
I think he hasn't made a lot of Western movies. He made that one,
which was the really
Hateful Eight.
Oh, okay.
So it was. That's Western.
I don't know. I never saw that one.
It was Western.
I never saw
Whatever.
that one.
Anyways,
all right.
That's it for me.
Hey, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Sharing is caring, and we'll see you again next week, same time. Send us your questions. Bye.